Good morning, everyone, and thanks for attending this webinar. I'm here today to talk about twin transformation in project management. I want to tell you the story that made me interested in this topic. A few years ago, a couple of years ago, I was speaking with a senior project manager in a large industrial organization, and uh, he told me something that stayed with me and ignited my interest on this topic of twin transformation. He said, we have two major priorities in our company right now. One is digital transformation, AI, data, automation, and the other is sustainability, reducing emissions, improving resource efficiency, improving stakeholder engagement. Both are critical, both are urgent. Both teams are doing a great job. Then he paused and added, the problem is they don't talk each other, or they almost don't know the existence of the others. On one side, his team were implementing advanced analytics to optimize production schedule. On the other, separate teams were running sustainability programs to reduce energy consumption and waste. Both were successful, both delivered value, but they were completely disconnected. And because of that, something important was missing. Um, The AI systems were optimizing efficiency, but not necessarily sustainability. And the sustainability initiative were improving impact, but without leveraging the full power of data and predictive intelligence. In other words, the organization was investing heavily into transformation, but not capturing the full value of either. Now, if you think about it, this is the situation quite common. No? Many organizations today are running, most of organizations are running the two parallel transformation, one digital, one sustainable. But the real opportunity, the real competitive advantage emerges when the two come together. This is what we call twin transformation. And this is where project managers and PMOs play a critical role because projects are where these strategies actually meet reality. So the question for us today is how do we move from two parallel transformation to one integrated approach that delivers real measurable value? So this is me. Paul already introduced me a little bit. I am from Milan. I am Italian. I was born a civil engineer, studied at Politecnico di Milano. I also got a PhD there on infrastructure engineering, in particular, studying project management and large engineering projects in particular. I am PMP certified, and I'm also ACP certified. I earned my life as a senior project manager in Capgemini. I am responsible for major projects, most complex projects here in Italy. I also like teaching, and I am an adjunct professor at Politecnico di Milano Graduate School of Management and at IE Business School Madrid. I also volunteer a lot for PMI. I like it. And I'm currently serving as global volunteer leader at PMI Sustainability Outreach Committee. Uh, I like writing. I published some book and paper here and there, and I also served as a reviewer for PMBOK 7 and a member of the core development team for the PMBOK 8. So let me start with something very simple. No? Right now, whether we realize it or not, we are living two transformation at the same time. The first one is obvious. No, it's fast, it's visible, it's exciting, it's artificial intelligence. AI is changing how we plan, how we decide, how we execute. It's making our project faster, smarter, more efficient than ever before. But at the very same time, there's a second transformation happening, quieter, but just as powerful. Is the shift toward sustainability, and we know very well, no, in this group. And this one sustainability is not just about doing things better. No? It's about asking a different question altogether. What does success actually mean? Is success delivering on time and on budget? Or is it delivering something that is still valuable 10 years from now? Now, is where it gets interesting. These two transformations, AI and sustainability, are both accelerating, they are both urgent, they are both strategic, and organizations today are feeling the pressure from all directions and from regulators, from investors, from customer, and from society itself. No? The expectation is no longer just to deliver efficiently, it's to deliver responsibly. And it's the part that matters most for all of us in this webinar. This pressure don't meet in strategy documents. They don't meet in boardrooms, they meet in projects. You know very well, no? All of us know very well. Because projects are where decisions are made, where trade-off happen, when strategy becomes reality. So if we want truly respond to this true transformation, if we want to turn pressure into opportunity, then the place to start is not at the top. It's in the way we design and deliver our projects. Mm. So let's start with this idea for a moment. True transformation happening at the same time. But if you look a little closer, they don't behave the same way. The first one, AI, is incredibly good at one thing: optimization. It tells us to predict, plan better, allocate resources more efficiently. It answers to questions like how can we do this faster? How can we reduce cost? How can we improve performances? Uh, and in project management, we love this question because they are measurable, because they're actionable, they fit perfectly into the way we have been trained to think. But then there's the second transformation. Sustainability doesn't start with optimization. No? It starts with a different kind of question. Not how can we do this better, but should we be doing this at all? Or what is the impact of this project beyond delivery? What happens after the project is closed? Who benefits? Who doesn't? And suddenly the conversation changes. It becomes long term, more complex, sometimes uncomfortable, because sustainability forces us to think in system, not just in deliverables. Now, is the challenge. In most organizations, these two transformations are just that different. They are separated, no? Different teams, different languages, different priorities. AI teams are optimizing the system. Sustainability teams are questioning the system. And very often, they don't talk to each other. So what happens? We get projects that are highly optimized, but not necessarily sustainable. And we get sustainability initiatives that lack the power of data, prediction, and scale. Two powerful forces moving forward, but not together. And that's exactly the gap we need to close. So let's go back to that question. What would it look like if we actually designed our project to do both at the same time? Not digital first and then sustainability later, not sustainability as a constraint after the fact, but both. From the very beginning, this is what we call green transformation. And despite the name, the idea actually is very simple. No, it's about bringing together two forces that are already shaping our organization: artificial intelligence and sustainability, and designing them so that they reinforce each other. Because when you think about it, AI is incredibly powerful at one thing: it tells us to make better decisions. It gives us data, prediction, scenarios. It tells us what will happen, but it doesn't tell us what should happen. what where that's where sustainability comes in. Sustainability gives directions. It defines boundaries. It it answers the question of why we are doing something and what impact it should have. So when you combine the two, AI becomes the engine, sustainability becomes the compass. And projects are where the engine and the compass finally meet. They are where decisions are made, where trade-offs become real, where intention turns into outcomes. So twin transformation is not another layer of strategy. It's not another framework. It's a shift in how we design and deliver projects so that every project is not just smarter, but also more meaningful. Now, at this point, the idea sounds almost obvious. If AI is the engine and sustainability is the compass, why shouldn't we just put them together? Uh, why isn't every organization already doing this? Well, uh, this is where reality comes in, because in practice, the two words have grown up separately. In many organizations, AI lives in one part of the business, no? For example, IT, digital or innovation teams. And sustainability lives somewhere else in ESG function, strategy, compliance, different teams, different priorities, many cases, different languages, and they are both doing important work, but they are not necessarily working together. In most cases, they are not. Eh, And that's the way we measure success. AI initiatives are often evaluated based on efficiency, cost reduction, speed, and productivity. Sustainability initiatives are evaluated based on impact, emissions, resource use, social value. So even when both exist, they're optimized for different outcomes. And then there's the human factor. Most of us have been trained in one domain or the other. Either understand technology or we understand sustainability, rarely both. No? So when we design projects, we naturally fall back on what we know. And the result is this. We don't consciously decide to separate these two transformations. It just happens quietly, systematically, across project portfolios, across the organization. And over time, that separation becomes the default, which is why if we want to change this, we need to make that separation visible. We need a way to see where we are today and where we could go. So let's make it visible. Let's take everything we just discussed, AI on one side and sustainability in the other, and put into a simple picture. Now imagine a map, a very basic table, a map with two axes. One axis, you have the level of AI adoption from low to high, and the other, the level of sustainability integration, again from low to high. Now, let's place our projects in the map. In the bottom left corner, we have what we most of us recognize immediately, traditional projects. We deliver on time, on budget, but they don't really leverage AI and they are not actively considering sustainability. They are efficient but limited. Move to the right. Now we see projects that are strong on sustainability. They aim to reduce impact, improve efficiency, align with ESG goals, but are not fully leveraging data prediction or AI. So their potential is constrained. Now, go up. Here we find digital transformation projects. These are powerful. They are use AI to optimize, to automate, to predict. They are fast, efficient, impressive. But here's the catch: they are not necessarily designed with sustainability in mind. So they might be optimizing the wrong thing. And then there's the top right quadrant. This is where things change. This is where AI and sustainability come together, where data is not just used to optimize performance, but to improve impact, where projects are designed to be both intelligent and responsible. This is what we call twin transformation project. And here's the key insight. Most organizations are not falling, are not failing. They are just stuck in one dimension. They are doing good work, but only on one axis at a time. The real opportunity is not to move faster in one direction, but to move diagonally, to connect the two, because that's that's where the real value is created. And once you see it, it becomes very hard to unsee. So again, let's take everything we just discussed, AI on one side, sustainability on the other, and put it into the risk of not integrating. No? What is the risk of not integrating? If you keep it separated, AI without sustainability could give a negative impact. And you miss innovation opportunities here. And the portfolio stay fragmented between the AI projects and the sustainability projects. And regulatory exposure, no, stays. Most of stakeholders today are asking for integrated portfolios, putting them together, and stakeholders and shareholders are asking for that. And again, you are wasting. The risk is to waste the long-term value of your company. So if it's that the risk, if the danger is doing the wrong thing faster, then the obvious question becomes, what happens when we get this right? What happens when we actually bring these two forces together? When AI is no longer just optimizing performance, but also guided by sustainability. Something interesting happens. The conversation changes. We move from isolated decision to informed choices. Because now we are not just asking what is the fastest way to deliver this project. We are asking what is the smartest way, considering cost, time impact, and long-term value. This is what I would call the better decision intelligence. No more data, but better decisions. And once we have that, everything else starts to shift. Project selection becomes smarter because you can identify initiatives that deliver both business value and sustainability impact. The life cycle becomes more efficient because you can anticipate risks, optimize resources, and reduce waste before it happens. Stakeholders become more aligned because we are no longer choosing between performance and responsibility. You are delivering both. And over time, something even more important happens. Organization becomes more resilient. Because they are no longer optimizing for a single objective. They are adapting to a more complex reality. And this is where the real shift takes place. We move from thinking in terms of trade-off, efficiency versus sustainability, to thinking in terms of integration, where one reinforces the other, where intelligence drives impact, and impact gives direction to intelligence. And once that happens, we are no longer just managing project, we are shaping our value is created. Now, if we stop here, we might think that this was a set of benefits, better decisions, better projects, better outcomes. Okay, very nice. But the real power of the twin transformation is just in what it delivers once. It's in what it keeps generating over time. Because when AI and sustainability truly come together, they don't just improve projects, they create a system that reinforces itself. Let me show you what I mean. Imagine now, look at this loop. It starts with data. When you apply AI to project, you generate a richer, deeper, more connected data about performance, about resources, about impact. That data gives you a better insight, not just about what's happening, but about what is likely to happen. And with those insights, you make better decisions. You design projects that are more efficient, but also more sustainable. And those projects generate better outcomes, less waste, lower emissions, more value over time. Now, here's the interesting part. Those outcomes create even more data, and better data, and more relevant data, and they feeds back into the system. Stronger models, smarter prediction, better decisions, and the cycle continues. This is the flywheel. And once it starts moving, it becomes very hard to stop because every project makes the next one better. Every decision improves the next decision. And over time, the organization doesn't just improve, it learns continuously, systematically, at scale. And that's the difference between isolated transformation and transformation that becomes part of how the organization actually works. Now, if this is true, if twin transformation is not just about individual projects, but about systems, portfolios, and continuous learning, the next question is, who actually makes this happen? Where does this shift begin? Because strategies don't implement themselves, technologies don't align themselves, and sustainability goals don't magically translate into decision. There is always a point where all these things come together. In most organizations, and the point is the portfolio, obviously. Uh, this is where priorities are set, where resources are allocated, and where some projects are approved and others are not. And who sits in the center of that? The PMO, portfolio leaders, people like most of us. Now, traditionally, the role of the PMO has been about control, tracking progress, ensuring delivery, managing risk. But in a world of twin transformation, that role evolves. The PMO becomes something more, not just a controller, but more an orchestrator of decision, orchestrator of value. Because every time a project is selected, every time a business case is approved, every time priorities are set, you are shaping the direction of the organization. You know very well. You are deciding explicitly or implicitly whether AI and sustainability remain separated or whether they start to come together. And that's a powerful position to be in because it means that this transformation is not something happening somewhere else. It's not just driven by executives or strategy teams. It happens through the choices made in portfolios, through the way projects are designed, through the questions that you ask. So the real shift is this. For managing project to shape how value is created across organization, and once you see your role in that way, the conversation changes, no? The way you interact. So I I drafted this map. If the portfolio is where this transformation happen. Let's make it more concrete. Because up to now, we have been talking about concepts, systems, and roles. But um, what does this actually look like, no, inside the portfolio? Imagine your current portfolio for a moment, all the projects you're running today. If you step back and look at them, you'll probably recognize a pattern. There are projects focused on operational improvement, making existing processes more efficient. There are digital transformation projects introducing automation, analytics, AI, and there are sustainability initiatives reducing impact, improving compliance, responding to ESG goals. All important, all necessary, but often separated. So, is the key idea. Tree transformation is not about replacing these projects, it's about evolving them. It's about asking a different question for each initiative. How can this project deliver both digital value and sustainable impact? How can a digital project also reduce emissions? How can a sustainability initiative leverage data and AI? And when you start asking that question consistently, something shifts. Gradually, you begin to see more and more projects moving into a new category, project where AI is used to enable sustainability outcomes, not as an add-on, no? Not as a reporting layer, but as part of the design. And over time, the shape of your portfolio changes, not overnight, but progressively, until this twin transformation project becomes the core, not the exception. So this map is not just a classification, it's a direction of travel. It helps you to see where you are and where you can move next. Because transforming a portfolio doesn't start with a big program. It starts with a simple shift, asking better questions about the project you already have. Now, if portfolios are changing, if projects are evolving, then something else has to evolve as well. No? That is us. Because twin transformation is not just a shift in tools or processes, it's a shift in identity. No? Let me explain. Traditionally, project managers have been trained to focus on three things, you know very well, no? The iron triangle: scope, time, and cost. All of us as project managers are born like that. And to be very good at balancing them, no? That's essential, no? That's still essential. In managing our project, we still need to be very careful about the iron triangle. But in a world shaped by AI and sustainability, that is no longer enough, because now every project decision carries additional question, not just can we deliver this on time, but also what is the impact of this decision? What data are we using? What are we optimizing for? And that requires new capabilities. We need to be comfortable working with data, not necessarily building AI models, but understanding what they tell us. We need to understand sustainability, not as a reporting exercise, but as something that influences design and deliver. And perhaps, most importantly, we need system thinking, the ability to see connections, to understand that a decision in one part of the project can have consequences somewhere else, sometimes far beyond the project itself. So the role of the project manager starts to shift from someone who delivers output to someone who shapes outcomes, from managing constraints to navigating complexity, from executing plan to enabling better decisions. And this is not about adding more responsibility. We already have enough. It's about expanding perspective. Because in the context of twin transformation, project managers are not just delivering projects, they're helping organizations to make better decisions about technology, about impact, and about the future. So if this is the shift, if the role of the project manager is expanding, the next question becomes very practical. How do we build these capabilities? Because none of this happens by default. We don't suddenly wake up one day, comforted with AI, sustainability, and system thinking. This is something we develop. And the good news is that we don't have to start from scratch. There is a growing ecosystem of learning tools and frameworks designed to support exactly this transition. Some focus on helping project professionals understand how AI can be applied in real projects and how it can support planning, forecasting, and decision making. Others focus on integrating sustainability into project thinking, not as an afterthought, but as part of governance, design, and delivery. For example, certification like the PMI Certified Professional in Managing AI, that is well known and is having very good reviews globally. And the same for the Green Project Management B, the GPMB, that is the brand new certification on sustainable project management um, developed now by PMI together with the GPM itself, and it's the most renowned globally. Both are emerging as structured ways to build these complementary capabilities. But this is not really about certification, it's about something broader. It's about intentional learning, about being curious, about being willing to step outside our comfort zone in many cases, to explore technology, even if we are not technical, to engage with sustainability, even if it's new to us, no, probably not in this webinar. Because the organizations that will succeed in this space are not the ones with the most advanced tools. They are the ones with people who can connect the dots. And that's capability each of us can start building one project at a time. So let's figure out a roadmap for this. At this point, very natural question comes up. Where do we actually start? Because everything we have discussed, AI, sustainability, portfolios, systems, can feel big, almost overwhelming. But is we have good news. No, twin transformation doesn't start with a massive program. It starts with a few small intentional shifts. The first one is governance. Who is in the room when decisions are made? Are digital and sustainability perspectives connected or still separated? Because alignment at that level changes everything downstream. Then come the criteria, the way projects are selected, the question we ask in business cases. If sustainability and AI are not part of those questions, they won't be part of the answer. And then, very importantly, we experiment, we run pilot projects, not perfect one, no, not a large one, but focused initiative where we deliberately combine AI and sustainability, where we test, we learn, we adapt, no, we can even fail sometime. And alongside all of this, we build skills. Again, not all at once, but progressively, project by project, decision by decision. So the message from the short term is quite simple. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait for the full alignment. Start where you are. Start small, but most importantly, start intentionally. Then, now, once you've started, once you have those first pilots, those first experiences, those first successes, hopefully, sometimes begin to change. Confidence grows, understanding deepens, and this is where the second phase begins. Because twin transformation is not meant to stay at the edges. It needs to move to the core, and that happens at the, as we said, portfolio level. This is where portfolios are no longer just collection of projects, but actually designed to deliver both digital and sustainable value, where investments are aligned with long-term goals, not just short-term returns. At the same time, something else becomes critical: data, but not isolated data, connected data. Data that links operations, project, and sustainability outcomes. Because without that integration, the flywheel we discussed earlier cannot fully turn. And then methodologies evolve. The frameworks we use for project management, they begin to reflect this new reality, incorporate responsible AI, include lifecycle impact, and redefine what success look like. And this is the moment where transformation starts to scale, not because of one initiative, but because the system itself has changed. So if the short term is about starting, the medium term is about embedding, making twin transformation not something you do, but something that becomes part of how you work. So let me take you back to where we started, the conclusion. That conversation with the project manager, two priorities, digital transformation and sustainability, two words not really connected. Now, imagine going back to that same organization today, no? If they implemented what we said. Something has changed, not overnight, not through a big announcement, but through a series of small decisions. A project where AI was used not just to optimize cost, but to reduce energy consumption. Another where sustainability metrics were included in the business case from the beginning. A portfolio review where, for the first time, projects were evaluated not only on ROI, but on long-term impact. Nothing revolutionary on its own, but together they start to shift the system. Teams beginning to collaborate differently. Data starts to flow across boundaries. Conversation changes. And the project manager I spoke to, he says something different now. He says, we are still working on AI, we are still working on sustainability, but now they are part of the same conversation. And that's the moment where transformation becomes real. Not when we define new strategies, but when the way we make decisions begins to change. Because in the end, twin transformation is not about technology. It's not even about sustainability. It's about something more fundamental. It's about how we choose to create value. And the interesting thing is, the choice doesn't happen once. It happens every day, in every project, in every decision, in every trade-off. And that means it's already in your hands. So the question is not whether twin transformation will happen. It's already happening. The real question is, will we design it intentionally, or will we let it happen by accident? Thank you.
Thank you, Eduardo. That given a lot of things to think about. The
There is a lot to think about. No, it's
yeah.
twin transformation is a kind of is a kind of a topic that really asks us to evolve the way we think about our business as usual. No, it's more and more about changing the way we think about it.
Yeah. Oh, complete mindset change.
Exactly.
I have some questions for you. Let me just pop them up. So the first one from Merv. Um, how would you assess an organization's as is and to be states on your 2 by 2 model in practice?
Yeah, perfect. As we said, now we need to put those two teams that currently are working separately and talk each other. So probably they have different metrics for sure. No, today they have different metrics. Um, we need to work together to see which metrics are applicable to both. Probably it's not just the sum of the metrics, because as we said, the risk when you keep them separated is to optimize the wrong thing, for example, no, if you just look in one direction and not in the other. So we need to find together, talking, no, which metrics are applicable to both, and then assessing project according to them. Obviously, at the beginning, you find the metrics, but projects are not designed for fulfilling those metrics since the beginning. So probably you will be surprised or scared of what's going on. But probably uh, after that, you start implementing project, including those metrics, common metrics, or shared metrics, and the the conversation changes. No, you can see the evolution, no, the
Mhm.
assessment on how much you are just no segregated in the column, in the box of AI, and how much you are segregated in the box of sustainability. That, as we said, anyway, it's good. No, it's also good to be good in traditional projects. I am not here to say that we need to forget about the iron triangle. No, we still need the iron triangle, but on it we need to build AI, no, and
Yeah.
related metrics. We need to build sustainability and related metrics, and move diagonally. No, as we said, if you move in that direction, you let AI and sustainability speak together and find a common way, no, um, to um, fertilize, no, each other, and
Mhm.
so implement a twin transformation.
Thank you very much. One from me, and that is, how do we measure success in twin transformation projects?
So um, the the point, no, could be um, this is definitely not the question. No, it's crucial because what we measure drives our behavior. In twin transformation, success is not just about time, cost, and scope anymore. No, it's about combining three dimensions: the business value, ROI, and performance; sustainability impact, for example, emissions, resource efficiency; social value. Don't forget, we are talking about sustainability in the triple bottom line; and decision quality, how well data and AI improve outcomes. So the challenge is not to create one perfect metric, is to create a visibility across these dimensions, so trade-offs become explicit. When teams can see both financial and sustainability outcomes together, they start making better decisions naturally. Mm. So we need to see all this together.
Thank you. We have a question from Maria, and it's in Italian. So I'm not even going to attempt to speak it. What I will do is I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if it's something you're going to be able to uh,
Maria,
answer quickly, or
uh,
whether
should I translate? Are you
we're far
using
better
AI for
interested than me.
translation? Should we should be obliged for companies to declare the carbon footprint generated by every single query or session in on AI? how would the AI market change if the environmental cost would be transparent as much as those the economical cost? Very good question. I'm also wondering because I, I like so much AI. You know, I don't know what you what is your relationship with AI. You know, um, I love ChatGPT 5, no, for example, the beautiful no, text that it provides, and now Claude is very deep
Yeah,
in the analytics. So uh, it is so nice. Would be interesting to declare, no, as Maria said, the carbon footprint of what happens there. No, every query. Uh, I tend to be polite, no. For example, when I'm prompting, so please do that, no. Please, you know. And I read that it is everybody being polite with AI is having a global impact in the carbon footprint. So makes very much sense what Maria say. It would be nice to have to rise no, an awareness when you are using AI, what is the carbon footprint
yeah,
no, or that you are causing to the overall environment. Makes perfectly sense. I would love to, to do that.
yeah. You need to be very precise in what you want to ask, rather than keep asking small questions, which again have whilst a relatively small environmental impact, they all build up over the time. Thank you very much. One more question from Catherine. Where do SMEs with good intention to integrate twin transformation but lack the data sets start their journey?
Hmm. You need to build your data, no, your data set. So the nice thing about twin transformation is that I also looked while preparing this presentation for case studies. No? So it would have been nice to add a couple of case studies here. But frankly speaking, I found something that was not really meaningful to me. So I skipped that part. There are not much case studies. So we, no, we here, we can be the guys creating case studies, no, being the first um, globally to implement a real complete twin transformation program. As I said, you need to start now with the small roadmap that I I drafted. The uh, you start questioning no AI thanks to the sustainability teams and vice versa. So you create new data set, you collect and you implement using the model of the flywheel. And this is a flywheel. It is the flywheel, it's the continuous improvement, no? That we can you already know as a concept, but it's very meaningful. If you don't have already ready data, you are not stupid, no, because it's definitely the situation of almost everybody, no? And if you build it, and let me know, no? Because I would be happy to also to see how it works, and we can draft a case study together.
There you go, Catherine. There's a challenge for you.
Exactly.
Well, if you just want to stop sharing your screen for a moment,
Yeah. Okay.
Eduardo, so everyone can see you properly as we just wrap up. Um, I'd like to thank you. That's been a great uh, talk.